And now, let's remember this German guy with a very good sense of humor. Heinz Knoke was a true Prussian, a brilliant pilot and a model officer. No wonder he loved joking more than anything else. He loved those subtle and fine jokes that weren't for everybody to understand, the ones too dirty but still irresistible to laugh at. And boy, was he good at that. But one of his jokes was too big even for him. By the year 1943, the whole of Germany was under Allied bomber attacks, and the Luftwaffe forces were doing all they could to keep the enemy's flying fortresses and Lancasters out of Reich's cities and industrial centers. But there wasn't much that they could do. There were hundreds of heavy bombers with deadly heavy machine guns all over them, flying so high and in a very close formation. Even the fastest fighters couldn't possibly approach them, no matter the angle of attack, the strategy, and the quantity of the defending forces. The result was always the same: a deadly blast of the Browning machine guns, destroying the German planes. And then Heinz Knoke and his fellow soldier Dieter Gerhardt thought it would be funny to drop a simple aerial bomb on a close formation of the enemy bombers. What can be so difficult about that? One just needs to calculate the trajectories of the Messerschmitt 109, the bombers and the bomb itself, and correctly set a timer. Easy, right? On the 22nd of March 1943, 5 days after his friend Gerhardt was killed in action, Knoke brilliantly executed the plan. He flew to a needed spot above and in front of the B-17 formation and dropped the bomb. The result was astonishingly scary. The bomb exploded right in the middle of the formation. One of the B-17s lost its wing. The other two received so much damage that they had to crash land, and some others made it back to England, only to be decommissioned because of the damage. And Heinz Knoke became a national hero. He made a huge sensation. The American radio communications were full of panicking shouts about a brand new, super-secret Nazi weapon. The first one to congratulate Knoke was Colonel Henschel. And while he was complimenting the new German hero, Knoke imagined him, all emotional, dropping his monocle into his cocoa cup, which he found extremely funny for some reason. Then, a phone caller woke him in the middle of the night. Reich Marshal Goering himself called to congratulate him. One would say it was the perfect time to rise up the career ladder. But it was much more important to Knoke that he was the first ever Luftwaffe lieutenant to report to his commander-in-chief lying on his bed with no pants on. The only person who immediately understood all the terror of this joke was General Josef Kammhuber. He was a brilliant strategist of the aerial war, and he knew exactly what would happen next. Goering, who didn't know a thing about modern strategy, would demand to bomb the American bombers. The Americans would switch to nighttime attacks, disperse the formations, and get more fighters to cover the bombers. And the German fighters, equipped with now useless but heavy bombs, would become a perfect prey. The joke was literally a one-timer. But of course, nobody listened to Kammhuber. It happened just like he thought. The Luftwaffe demanded a full report on the mission from Knoke. They started developing special anti-aircraft bombs that were absolutely useless. The Japanese found out and started doing the same research, as they were also suffering from the Allied bombers. German and Japanese fighters burned oceans of precious oil trying to hit the enemies, even though it would be a lot more effective to use guns. In the end, the Luftwaffe pilots managed to destroy a couple more flying fortresses, and the Japanese didn't register a single hit at all. As for Heinz Knoke, he survived through the war, probably because he laughed a lot. By destroying a few B-17s, he saved dozens and hundreds of others. but somehow nobody thought to reward him for it. He didn't receive a Distinguished Flying Cross from the Americans or the British, nor was he given the Order of the Red Banner from the USSR. And he certainly deserved those, at least for his sense of humor.